My name is Chelle, and I've discovered that it's time to share opinions. Listen, I have been in many different spaces throughout my lifetime. Um, and now that I'm 43, 44 year, oh shit, 44 years old, I've decided it's time to share my opinions. So this channel has gone through quite a bit of different variances, I guess. There's been some gaming, which I still absolutely enjoy. But then it kind of took a shift when I found thrifting and curating vintage items, which also means that I resell. Um, and lately there's been a whole lot of chatter throughout just the community and the anti-reselling community. And I think it's time to share some of my opinions, some of my knowledge, things that I've learned, how I'm predicting trends, how successful I've been, how not successful I've been, mistakes I've made, etc. So, this is the first episode in the series of Are Resellers Really the Problem? Or Resellers Are the Worst? Or might be an ever evolving name. But yeah, so let's get into it. So, first, this isn't going to be a very long one. There's just a couple of videos that I wanted to share with you. And I found them really interesting because people are very opinionated and very strongly opinionated about this topic. So let's watch this first TikTok, this first creator. Quite interesting, really.
Resellers truly need to be stopped. I was trying to buy a present for my sister and my brother-in-law. I turned to eBay, which was like my favorite. The item I was looking for was a piece of Christmas decor. I found one, seemed nice. Then I checked the price. It's a little cut off at the top here, but this was sold in the 90s, $7.99. So 30 years ago. This is a second hand piece of Christmas decor that has been in someone else's possession for 30 some years, sold for $8. Look at what they are selling it for. 19.
Yeah, it's vintage. Okay, so listen. The comments got a little wild, and we won't go over very many, but I want to share the first comment. And this one I agree with. So, right, number one, it's vintage. Number two, that person had to procure it. And number three, that person had to store it, list it, and now will package it safely. So it is it looked like a breakable vintage from the 90s Christmas ornament, like those long ones, right? It was made in Germany originally. And they, quite honestly, they're not asking a whole lot. They are asking what's called market value. And so this person brings up a very good point here at the top comment. When somebody is curating, they're going out and they're finding these items. And then they're taking them home and then they're cleaning them. And when I say curating, I don't always mean thrift stores either. It could be they're cleaning out their grandma's attic, they're cleaning out their parents' basement. I've been to many hoard clean outs where people just need somebody to come in because the house is absolutely hoarded. And instead of throwing everything away, they're letting people come in, which does a whole lot for many different reasons, right? But then the original creator says, I completely forgot I had to pay my middleman. Yeah, Haley, you have to pay the middleman no matter what. So, and she starts off talking about how she's got a problem, with resellers, yet you're on eBay. It's always been your go-to. If you've got a problem with resellers, get off of eBay. I mean, that's the first thing, right? I completely forgot I had to pay my middleman with everything. Literally, you're paying the middleman. Sonic has a middleman. everybody has a middleman. When you go to TJ Maxx and you get your $25 Hello Kitty throw, wrapped into the price of that is the middleman. Like what? Like what? Like TJ Maxx is the middleman. They didn't make that Hello Kitty throw. You're paying the middleman. You're paying the people that shipped it. You're paying the people that produced it. You're paying the people that designed it. Absolutely everything. You're paying every single step. When you purchase from a reseller, you're doing the same thing. And then I could just buy things from people wanting to get rid of stuff. Resellers truly irritate me so bad. Go to a garage sale, babe. Get out there on your Saturday morning, little yard sale app, great app, and go to a garage sale. Those are people that want to just get rid of stuff. The second comment, so why wouldn't I just buy a new one for the same price or less? Because it's probably made in China. It's not original. That's a reproduction. You self-admitted that the original is from the 90s. So it's vintage. Anything older than 20 years is vintage. And typically the quality is better. So the first one was made in Germany. This one, I don't know. Did you check it out? Did you look at the quality? Is it as thick of glass as that was used back then? Because here's the other thing, right? The one from the 90s is still intact. No cracks, no chips. This one, is it going to break tomorrow? Probably. Because it's cheap. This person, obviously, Austin, I'm going to assume ATX, Austin, Texas, thrift stylist, so a self-proclaimed curator, it seems. What an uninformed take. You clearly don't understand vintage. Your argument in the comments is, I'll just buy it new for that price. All right, so do that. People that enjoy vintage and know the rarity would never have this opinion. Maybe eBay just isn't for you. I don't think it is, honestly. I don't think eBay is for this person. I think they have a skewed idea of what eBay is, quite honestly. And then Heather brings up, is the new one made in Germany too or made in China? There is a difference. Now, I do want to say that my opinion here does get blurry. So let's watch the second video.
It's been a while, so let's talk about something that I hate. And I'm talking about this because people are finally talking about it on TikTok, and so now it's my moment. I hate resellers. And I don't mean people who go to a wholesaler and buy things from a wholesaler and then sell it at a price. I mean people who go to Goodwill, thrift shops, all these nice cheap places where you can find cool secondhand or really cheap items, and then they sell it for a bunch of money. It used to really irritate me, specifically during makeup launches, where there would be like a limited edition eyeshadow palette and all these resellers would buy literally all of them. They put 400 of them in their cart, and then there was none in the world because all the resellers bought them, and you'd have to go on Mercari and buy it for like $400. Yeah.
Those are scalpers. Yeah. So it's like resellers, right? It's like an umbrella. So you've got resellers, but then there's like a subcategory of scalpers. Those are your people that are buying up Taylor Swift concert tickets, right? And reselling them at irrational amounts. Those are people that are standing in line for whatever makeup palette. If we remember a few years ago, the Jeffree Star palettes were out, the James Charles palettes, people were standing in line and then people were putting them on, like she said, Mercari for outrageous amounts. People are still doing that a little bit, but thankfully people have backed off of buying that. Of course, the latest craze was the Starbucks Bear Cup, right? So you had scalpers, including Starbucks employees, scalpers themselves, shady, and putting them online for $250 to $350. But they're selling. So it's like, all right, fine, whatever, do your thing. I don't partake in that. I don't personally agree with that. I think it's just icky, shit ass behavior, but those are scalpers. Now, she touched a little bit on people that are going to Goodwill and they're getting all of these items that somebody could get for way less. And yes, they could. And there are some resellers that they're scavengers, right? Like, they are out there every day, all day. There's a woman at one of our Goodwills, and you see her all day, every day. She's got a chair that she sits in by the shoe section, and she's got her cart, and once it's full, she checks out, and then she takes it to her car, and then she goes back to her chair because she's watching the inventory as it comes out consistently, whether that's clothing or whether that's home goods, whatever it might be. She's in on it. I have found her Facebook Marketplace. She's not the best curator, but go ahead, girl. You know, do your thing. I know she's labeled as a reseller, but unfortunately, I think she may not be reselling most of it. Maybe I'll see her house one day at an estate sale. But it is one of those things that I get that there's a fine line, and I get that some people are like, hey, leave some of the clothes for us. I do have resale clothing. However, I'm very picky and particular about what I resell. Right now I'm focusing on, 100% cotton, all natural fibers, linen, 100% linen, 100% cashmere, things of that nature, and trying to get away from the synthetics like the polyesters. Really focusing more on timeless pieces, things that are going to last, right? I'm doing the same with furniture. This chair, I bought it in an estate sale. And as you can tell, I did not flip it because I'm in love with it. But it's 120 years old or more. Even this table behind me, it's vintage. It's not antique, but I have been purchasing antique furniture and redoing it because it lasts, right? Vintage and antique were just made better. I mean, let's be real. Like, I'm a Stanley girl, but this cup, I'm going to use it every day, just like I used my, I think 2 years ago from the Valentine drop. Take that, Scalpers, I got one at regular price. But it's done. Like, it's chipping, and it's done. Or my other one that my daughter stole, but that's neither here nor there. So got this one for Christmas, and it's going to last me 2 years. This table behind me, my kids are going to end up with. What they do with it, I don't know. This chair behind me, my daughter will probably snatch that. The little table on this side, somebody's going to have use out of it after I'm gone, because it's still going to be in good condition. Because it was just made better. And that's just kind of how it is, right? Like, even the original Stanley thermoses are starting to show up at estate sales, and people are buying them, and I take a look at them, and there's no chipping, there's no stains on the inside. Even though they've been used, they're just better quality. They were just made better back then. That's just how it is. But listen, moral of the story, you can be mad at resellers, I get it. You can hate the scalpers, so do I, but there is a difference. But if you're not looking to pay market value for something, stay off of eBay. Maybe hit up Whatnot. Maybe. I don't know. But market value is a real thing. And that's what people should be paying for things. I get it. There's thrift stores and Goodwills, and so things are supposed to be below market value, but that's a whole other discussion for a whole other video. But if you don't want to pay that much, then yeah, stay off of eBay and maybe find it on Temu. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for hearing my opinion and letting me rant. If you enjoyed this, if you've got something to say, please, I welcome all criticism. I welcome your crankiness. I welcome your love. I welcome whatever you want to throw. But in the comments, the only thing I ask that you stay away from things that don't matter to the topic. If you cannot stay on topic, yes, I will delete your comment, because there's no place on this channel for ickiness. That's just how I am. But if you would like to discuss the actual topic of the video, please do so down below. Please subscribe, hit the like button, and I'm going to try to do maybe 3 or 4 of these a week. I'll be hitting shorts and of course posting to my TikTok as well. But yeah, thanks for joining me. Have a beautiful 2026. I'm glad you're here. We'll see you later. Bye.